Wild hallucinations, profound healing, and even alien encounters.
Kind of learned both nights that I have a group of aliens called the Watchers that are literally always here, like they're probably hovering in their giant spacecraft above us.
If all of this sounds sci-fi, think again. I traveled to Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica to experience another kind of journey with plant medicine. The plants are prepared by highly experienced shamans, and the people here claim it's changed their lives.
I finally had this moment where I was able to just let everything go. Actually, one of the female shamans really helped me with it. She said, you know, there's no point in still feeling guilty. You can start over right now and start fresh and just trust yourself and forgive yourself. And so it was like my inner child was able to forgive me, and we can like start fresh from here.
I wanted to discover for myself what the medicine could do for me, so armed with my bug spray, I began my journey at Rythmia.
See, the cool thing about Rythmia, actually one of my favorite things about Rythmia, and I'm talking to a lot of people here at the resort. We had dinner yesterday after an incredible breathwork class. Look, I am spiritual. I'm interested in my soul and in awakening, but I don't want to go to the Amazon and look for a shaman, and I don't know which ones are legit and which ones are charlatans, and I also don't want to live in a teepee with tarantulas, and I don't, I want to have this plant medicine experience, but I want to do it in comfort, you know what I mean? And check out this view. It's so beautiful here. It is so beautiful, and this doesn't do it justice. I mean, that's like a backyard and some trees, right? But when you're doing yoga, I'm going to go show you the yoga place right now. Because when you're doing yoga, you have this incredible view of Costa Rica.
Before I knew it, the time for my first plant ceremony had come. Cameras weren't allowed inside to protect the privacy of the other guests. Hi. You know, at one point yesterday, the medicine was at its highest. And I remember laying in the hammock for, there was no perception of time, but it felt like maybe 2 hours, maybe an hour. I don't really know how long I was in that hammock, but it just started raining on me. I sat in that hammock and I thought, I don't know how I'm possibly going to make a video about this tomorrow. I don't know how one video can even begin to describe what it was that I was seeing and feeling and processing. Because in one moment you're like remembering past memories that were completely blocked out. And at another moment you're remembering like past lives and things that happened to you that you just completely forgot about. Little things that I wrote on the wall as a child in my bedroom at like age 9 that I, like my dreams and stuff, I would write them on the wall. And I had completely blocked that out. And to remember what your childhood self wanted and to process that now as an adult can be so healing. And at another moment, I was like looking up from the hammock at the stars and the planets, and all of a sudden it all just makes sense. You get it, and you believe in aliens in that moment, and you believe in a higher existence, and you believe in other dimensions. You don't just believe in them, there's like a knowing. There's a knowing. And I don't know how I'm possibly going to be able to put that in this video other than to say that I want so badly for everybody that I know, every family member, everybody watching this video, to just experience that themselves. Rythmia founder Jerry Powell is a self-described bad guy turned good guy. He made tens of millions of dollars as a businessman, but says he was a horrible person, abusing women and drugs until he experienced the healing powers of plant medicine. Now he helps others do the same.
And I said, I have to do this for people. It can't only be for rich people. It has to be for all people. And then to make it for all people, I said I have to buy a center. And in that center, I have to do all these things, the cleanse, the plant medicine, the organic food, the yoga, the meditation, and the life advancement stuff in one place during one stay. And I have to do it for less than Club Med. And it cost me a fortune to bring this whole place about. But that's what I did, because it truly is in my heart to do this for people, because I want to see people walk in like me then and walk out a happy person.
Candice is a shaman in training with many roles at Rythmia, including yoga teacher.
You know, when I was telling somebody about coming here, they were like, oh, that place, or, you know, plant medicine in general, is for addicts.
Okay.
And, which I thought was funny, because being here, I did meet a couple of people with addictions, but I met a 24-year-old who was trying to heal his ear pain. I met a 47-year-old attorney from Chicago who she just was looking for a new life path, and she didn't, you know, she's at a crossroads in life. I met a mother who wanted to be more patient with her children. Is this a place for addicts? What kind of place is this?
Well, in most part, we all have some form of addiction. You know, whether it's food, people, you know, that we all have this like ingrained in us in some form through past conditionings. And the plant medicine is so beautiful for everybody from all walks of life. And we see people, like you just mentioned, it's like it heals people on a whole holistic level, like mind, body, and soul. Whether you've got like mental illnesses, physical illnesses, or your soul just feels lost, you feel disconnected. Like it's a whole holistic approach. Like it's not just for you know, super strong addictions like drug addict, because we all have addictions that need to be, you know, stopped in their tracks so that we can be the purest form of ourselves.
Right.
So it's literally, plant medicine is for everyone and anyone, and I think everybody on the planet should have at least one cup.
Meanwhile, it was time for my second ceremony. So, this is the room, the beautiful, beautiful room, by the way, where they do the plant medicine ceremonies. As you can see, everybody's got their own mattress. It's got a pillow. And you'll see later, you don't see them now, but buckets for people who need to purge, which the medicine can make you do. And also paper towels, and I mean, you've got everything you could possibly need here. It's a total sanctuary. Now, yesterday was my third day here, but it was my second ceremony that we did at night, and there's two more. The experience yesterday was wildly different than the one on the first night. To be honest with you, the first maybe 3 or 4 hours, I felt nothing. I just slept, and there was a lot of visuals while I was sleeping, but I didn't really, I didn't have any major epiphanies or breakthroughs. And then all of a sudden, I'm laying in bed, and I have extreme pain in the middle of my back. And all of a sudden, I get this feeling or this voice or whatever it was, like a knowing, that it was caused by a surgery that I had 4 years ago, where they needed to go into my back and cut 2 nerves along my spine. I've never had an issue with that surgery. I never really think about it anymore. But all of a sudden yesterday, I have this extreme pain. It lasts about 30 minutes to an hour, and I start like feeling like I need to throw up, and it's just an ugly feeling. And you know, the shaman says, what's wrong? And I said, you know, my back is hurting, and I think it's from a surgery that I had. And he said, well, if it's hurting right now, it means it's being healed, so just go with it, you know, lay back, relax. And he did a little like ritual thing over me, but my back does feel great, so hopefully there was some kind of healing there. I definitely felt good. And I have to tell you, the way it's set up, like you can see the mattresses everywhere, it's kind of set up, it reminded me of, like, you know, the old Civil War movies where all the soldiers were laying down being healed. Everybody was going through a different thing. So some people next to you are laughing hysterically, Some are like having orgasms, and others are in extreme pain. Some are screaming, some are puking. And meanwhile, there's just these group of like shamans who walk around and they do whatever they need to do. So if they see somebody that's like me, you know, my back was in pain, they'll come and they'll do a ritual, or they'll speak over you, or they'll say something, they'll whisper in your ear, they'll guide you. And they were just doing that for everybody. It's really, really a beautiful thing. Now, with all that said, as amazing as my last 2 nights have been, I think I've decided, and I had this feeling yesterday while I was going through the process, that 2 days was sufficient for the healing that I needed, that I came for. I think I got it. And I think it was just an incredible breakthrough. And I don't know if I'm going to do the other 2 nights. I'll stay here because, by the way, you guys, aside from the spiritual healing, there is incredible physical healing that happens here. This morning I had a Dead Sea cleanse, which is basically a colonic that they use this special water with, and then they also give you chlorophyll, like in an enema, and you're doing that. And so I highly recommend obviously doing that, and it's all part of the package. And then I did a volcanic mud bath today and yesterday, and I also got a massage, a deep tissue massage yesterday. So we'll talk to a few people and hear, you know, the experiences they've had.
I had a pretty amazing experience. My first ceremony with the plant medicine. I wasn't really expecting much, and I started to get some visions surrounding, like, even before I was born. And I came to the realization that that the circumstances around my conception were not ideal. And that when my mother fell pregnant with me, that my father didn't actually want me, and that had actually shaped a lot of my experiences throughout my life. That feeling of not being wanted. When I had that realization, I had to pretty much immediately come to an understanding around why. And to be able to forgive my father for that. It explained a lot of my relationship with my father, and it also solidified my relationship with my mother as well, because in this vision I saw her making a stand and I had her voice saying, "I'm keeping it," you know, and I'd already, at this stage, I'd actually met myself as a baby and fallen in love with myself as a baby, as a precious little gift. And the amazing thing for me was that I realized that my mother fought for me, and she didn't even know how beautiful I was at that stage. She didn't even know who I was.
I know I said I was done with ceremonies, but after skipping the 3rd night, I felt called to participate in the final ceremony.
Equal cotton, crony, ocean, bobbin, wider, Anconi, token, juice by mother, juice, equal canyon, vinte, maca, crony, ushtum.
Sorry, I'm a little emotional. We just got out of yoga class on my last day here at Rythmia, and somehow we were laying back at the end of class, and I just connected with my inner child, and I was crying, and he, in my mind, looked at me and said, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "Because I've forgotten about you, and because I don't take you with me anymore, anywhere I go." And he said, "It's okay, I'm not mad." Like, so innocent, you know? And He said, but can you just not do that again? And I said, yeah, I promise. From now on, I'm going to take that little guy everywhere I go with me. And when I returned home, something else happened. For the first time in years, I started to sing again. The plant medicine helped me find my voice. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. You feel free. Please show your love by liking this video, and if you're interested in health, beauty, and spirituality, take a minute to check out some of my other videos. Oh, and click the subscribe button below.